Welcome to another of a series of quick demonstrations showing what's possible with the OpenText eDocs DM Dynamic Views feature. Today we'll show some examples of how users can have different views of a common library to match their roles in an organization. Saving documents in folders is good because users find it simple and familiar and tend to adopt the method with little trouble. But foldering has limitations when users differ in how they think folders should be organized. In this example, we'll consider several users with different ways of saving and finding documents based on their roles in a real estate management company. Within Microsoft Outlook, on the left side of the screen, we see the OpenText eDocs document management tree with the familiar Recently Edited node, the library, and other nodes. We also see three different dynamic views called Property, Tenant, and Geographic Location. Now, let's save a document. In this case, a lease of the Oak Grove property by tenant ADV. I enter the document name as always, and then select the tenant view. I find ADV, but ADV is not yet in any properties, so none are shown in the dynamic view. In this case, I'll manually select the property and the document type lease, and then save the document. We'll save one more new document. This is a lease extension of the Oak Grove property and lease of the Uptown New Orleans property by tenant ADV. Notice that the Oak Grove property now shows up as a result of the document we saved previously, so we can choose that to automatically populate our profile form. As you can see, property is a multi-value field, so we can also add the Uptown New Orleans property, and then save the document. Now, let's return to Outlook and see how our views have changed. Opening the Tenants view, we see that the ADV node now includes two properties. Recall that when we started, ADV was a tenant, but not yet linked to any properties. We created a document linking ADV to the Oak Grove property, and that property then showed up in the tree. We then saved a second document tied to both the Oak Grove property and the Uptown New Orleans property, and as you can see, the dynamic view has been updated to show both of these properties. Let's do another example. This time from the point of view of a property manager responsible for the Uptown New Orleans property. Using the property view, the Uptown New Orleans property node contains maintenance records that do not pertain to a specific tenant, in addition to tenant-related documents, including the lease for ADV that we just created using the Tenants view. So in this example, we have deployed multiple dynamic view trees for different user roles. We used multi-value fields, allowing many-to-many relationships between properties and tenants. Because there is no external system to drive the property-tenant relationships, the creation of the trees is driven by the creation of documents in the system. This may not always be the best method of populating the trees, but it works well in this situation. In other applications, the relationship data might originate in a separate business system and be replicated to the eDocs system. Let's wrap up by taking a look at the third dynamic view, the geographic location view. In the Business Manager role, our user can drill down to specific properties by region, country, state, and property. Note that this tree is 5 levels deep. If I look at the Europe region, then select Norway, then Oslo, I find that this view can have variable depth with only 3 levels in the Europe region. To summarize, we've deployed 3 dynamic views that allow 3 different approaches to saving and finding the same documents. Dynamic Views provides the simplicity and familiarity of a foldering approach to document organization, along with the flexibility of profiling while minimizing the need to fill out profile forms. These examples are fairly simple and straightforward. What we would like you to take away from this presentation is that Dynamic Views provides a very flexible way for your organization to create customized trees based on any profile data in any way that makes sense to your users. Multi-value fields can be used if needed. Parent-child relationships can be used but are not required. Even text and date fields can be used, allowing browsing by year, for example. And it does all this without affecting your ability to profile in the usual way if desired. Regardless of your industry or the complexity of your data, there may be a way your users can benefit from the extended dynamic views capabilities available through eDocs. With thought and planning and careful attention to specific use cases, you can provide your users with a better experience and help achieve your goals for document management adoption more easily. If you'd like more information, please contact ADV or view our additional videos demonstrating the powerful capabilities of the eDocs Dynamic Views feature to provide an effective and usable foldering structure within your system.